The next thing we're going to do are seam finishes. So what you're going to need are these samples that you did. Okay, you need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should repress them because they've probably been sitting in a bag. I pressed it as good as I could. I also trimmed off any stray threads. So, seam finishes is this handout. Okay, we're going to do 4 for the book. Clean finished, stitched and pinked, zigzag and over the edge zigzag. You will find these on pages 69 to 70 in your Singer Sewing Essentials. Really nice picture. They call it a turned and stitched finish, which is the clean finish, which we're going to do first. And then on this side, we have the zigzags. So really good resource. And I do need you to do this. Really, really important for me. Before we start anything, you need to have a 5/8 inch seam allowance. So I need you to do this. I need you to take your hem gauge, set it at 5/8. 5/8 is 1 line above 1/2 inch. And I need you to make sure that you have 5/8 going all up and down. Sorry, can you see here? So I went 1, 2, I checked here, here, and here. And then here, here, and here. If you have less than 5/8 of an inch, I would say redo them. You're going to have a very hard time doing a lot of these seam finishes if you don't have 5/8 of an inch. Okay, first one. I'm going to go in order. Actually, the first one is the hardest one, the clean finish. I'll do that one, get that out of the way. Everybody's happy. All right, so the directions, actually, here's my page. Okay, so suitable for light, medium weight fabrics that fray easily, which is this. Prevents raveling, which is also called unraveling. And it says this is the finish we use on the skirt, which we don't do anymore. So when you're doing your page, and I am going to show you samples of what they should look like, all this information should be on there. All right. So it says start with the butterflied plain seam. That's what we have here, your butterflied plain seam. Stitch a row close to the raw edge, no larger than 1/8 of an inch. It says this step is optional. I do not think it's optional. I think this is an important step, especially for beginners, because what this is going to do is it's going to give you some weight at the edge of your fabric to turn your edge. It's called clean finish in the book. It's called stitched and turned. So no back stitch. I'm just going to sew a row of stitches no bigger than 1/8 of an inch from the edge of my fabric. Now my fabric is fraying pretty badly, so I'm going to be at 1/8 of an inch. Done. Okay, that's one side. I also want you to take note that I did not sew through. I'm not sewing the seam allowance to the fabric. It's hanging free there, okay? So I'm just sewing the seam allowance. Remember, we're doing a seam finish. We're not encasing a seam. I'm gonna repeat it on this side. No back stitch. So what I have here is step 1. Looks like that. Okay, and we're gonna go with the iron. This is the only stitch we're gonna have to go to the iron.